Hey, friends. Hello, hello. Welcome to Christmas in July. It's your old friend Elfie back again this year, here to say hello and spend some time with all of you. Unfortunately, our friend Sean, I'm blocking one of my ears, there we go. Our good friend Sean, unfortunately, had some other plans for the evening that were pretty important. So it will just be me here with you tonight. And I'm excited because we are celebrating Christmas in July, which those of you who know me know that I absolutely love Christmas and Christmas crafting. So I am excited about the opportunity to be able to share some Christmas in July spirit with all of you tonight. Let me go to the chat and see who's here and say some hellos. Oh, hey, April. Hello, Deb and Dante. And hey, Karen. And it is a good song, isn't it, April? I love it too. Hey, Annie. How are you, my friend? Nice to see Annie from the Brutus Monroe design team here with us tonight. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Much Blowfish. Welcome. I'm not sure what your name is, but welcome. Glad you're here. Hey, Dan. Nice to see you. Hello, Candy, listening in. Thanks for joining. Hello, Jay. Hello, Sandy. Oh, hey, Jana. How are you? Nice to see you here. Kara. Hi, Kara. Thank you. You know, I did this last year for Christmas in July, and I thought I would do it again this year. Sean, nice that you're listening in. You're missing out on my elf hat tonight. Um, oh, good, Candy. Candy's going to be recording. All right, awesome. So thanks, Jay. It's actually pretty old. I've had it for quite a while, but whenever I go to like a holiday market or craft fair, I'm wearing it. I need to get batteries for it. I also have a necklace that is all Christmas lights that flash, but the battery's dead, so I couldn't put it on tonight. But without further ado, let's head on down, and I will let you know what we have in store for you tonight. Does Mr. Christopher have fun Christmas in July stuff? He does. So he has a Christmas in July sale going on right now. And so if you go to the website, you'll see all of the details related to the sale. I'm just going to zoom out here. There we go. And these are some of the items I'm using tonight are part of the sale. The more you purchase, the more you save. And I don't remember the exact percentages off the top of my head. I actually, you know what? Give me a second. I can quickly just go to the website and read it off to you. Why not? There we go. And so for the Christmas in July sale, if you purchase 3 items, you receive 15% off. Purchase 5 items, you get 25% off. Purchase 8 items, and you get 35% off. So the more you buy, the more you save. And there's some really fun products out there. There's both crafting products as well as some Scoozy's candy items. As well as some items from some other brands that Christopher is carrying on the website. So lots to choose from. Let me quickly say hello to my friend Luann. Hello, Luann. Candy's mentioning 24 spots left for the virtual CYOE. Share a link. Yes, please do share a link, Candy, if you are able. Christopher made a special link for a free gift if a participant signs up with that link. So there you go. Okay, so my plan for tonight is I'm using actually 2 of my favorite stamp sets from last year's Christmas stamps. The first one is the City Sidewalks, which let me get this light tone down here so that there's not so much glare for you. And City Sidewalks is awesome. It has this really cool skating rink that I used quite a bit last year. A woman making a snowman, these two, a boy and a girl skating, some really simple trees, a street lamp, woman walking a dog, as well as a boy and a girl in a snowball fight, clouds, snowflakes, and some great sentiments. So, and the sentiments are really, really good. To the coolest person I know, you make my heart melt, wishing you a season of comfort and joy, warm winter wishes, walking in a winter wonderland. May your days be merry and bright, wishing you warmth amidst the winter chill, and the city shines brighter with you in it, which I love that one. I'm also using from last year's release, the Winter Home. And what I like about this particular set is you have some nice holiday homes, but then you also have these buildings, which I'll be using tonight. I love those. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to be using, this is a couple of years old now, but it is one of my favorite die sets. It's the snow globe cutting die. And so, yes, I am making a snow globe card tonight. And I already did some die cutting just to save some time. I die cut out my piece of acetate for the front. I die cut out my background paper for stamping. I die cut the base of the snow globe, and then using some of our white glitter cardstock, I die cut out some snow to put into the bottom. So thank you, Shelley. Welcome. I am glad you like the hat. Just a little fun. Annie, you have the stamp set. It's so, yeah, it really is. So you're going to see just how much, like, just for me tonight, one example, but if you go onto the website and you look at these two particular stamp sets, they were really loved by last year's design team, and you will see lots and lots of great cards that we had made with these. And now tonight I'm able to make another one. So I had just kept some paper out to show you. I did use that really nice white glitter card. I feel like that's maybe, here we go. White glitter cardstock, using some of our white cardstock and using some of our brown cardstock. So I'm going to put those to the side since I've already used them. And as I mentioned, I did my die cutting just so that I could have more time to be able to create my scene in the snow globe, as well as a background. And so I'm also going to be using one of our pre-scored card bases, as well as a piece of our, this is a darker blue shade of cardstock. I believe it's the old blue that we used to carry. Hi, Jamie. Welcome, friend. Jay, yes, it is. Yeah, I'm a sucker for any kind of stamp set that has houses and cities and villages. I have so many. You can never have too many. So yeah, really, really fabulous set. So I am going to begin by grabbing a baby wipe. And I'm going to do just some, using a baby wipe, getting some ink onto my background panel so that there's a little bit of color on there. And let's see, the ink I am going to use is a Simon Hurley. I just need to get it out. I was not prepared enough to have had that out. I didn't think of it. Here we go. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to be using Midnight Snack. And my idea here is just to be able to apply some ink. I'm going to smash it right down onto my craft surface. Grab that baby wipe. And I just want to kind of make it look like it's just a little, almost like a blue and white tie-dye that's kind of like just a wintry scene. And then I'm going to do something else on top of this that you'll see once I get there. But as you can see, no rhyme or reason. Just go ahead. Hello, Annette. Welcome, friend. Nice to see you here tonight. And then much blowfish. You could even use snow globe to make a gumball. Absolutely. I actually used this snow globe die set back during a release that was fairy tale based, and I kind of made like a really fun magic. What do you call it? What the witches and the sorcerers use to look in to tell you your future. What's the name of that? It was right on the tip of my tongue. A crystal ball. And I also did a crystal ball as well when we had some items come out related to Wicked. And I had some items belonging to Glinda and Defelba in it, which was a lot of fun. Thank you, my friend April. I knew you'd come through. You always do. It's almost like sometimes I feel like even if you're not quite sure, you do know what I'm saying. I appreciate that. Now I'm just putting some of our alabaster white onto there. And I'm going to come in with that baby wipe. And I'm just going to tone that blue down a bit to kind of... And you know what I'm seeing is it's going to take a lot of... You know what I'm going to do instead of the baby wipe for the alabaster white? I'm going to... I have 2 alabaster whites. I have one that I use for putting directly onto things, and then one for just inking up stamps. This is the one I use to put onto things. Instead of using the baby wipe, since it's going to take a lot more effort, I'm just going to come onto this card panel with the alabaster white. And as I run it over, you can see it just kind of softens that right up. And you're going to get a nice soft blue that looks like a very wintry panel. And there we go. That is all I am doing for that background panel. I'm going to set it to the side to let it dry a little bit. And I'm just going to clean up this alabaster so I don't accidentally get it onto anything else. There we go. Okay, so now I just want to play around and decide how I want to set my scene. So before grabbing my Misty, I am going to get my stamps out first. And also, I'm going to use these pre-cut snow pieces to kind of figure out how I want to place things. So let's get this down here. And it doesn't have to be perfect right now. It's just has to be in the approximate area. There we go. That's good. Move that over just a touch. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be using the boy and the girl who are having a snowball fight. I thought that would be a lot of fun. And so I know that I'm going to want to stamp them onto the top of the snow, just like so. But I'm going to want to have some things in the background. And as I had mentioned, I'm going to want to have those city buildings back there. So I am going to also grab some masking paper so that I can go ahead and mask up my little friends here while I stamp my city background. So that's basically going to be my layout. I'm going to have them with having their snowball fight. I'm going to have the buildings in the background. I'm going to have some snow. So I'm going to get to stamping. But what I want to do before moving this glitter stock is just kind of indicate with a pencil where this area is, so I know that I'm going to stamp them starting there. Put that to the side. Hello, Cordelia. Welcome, friend. Sean says, I will have my card for you all posted tomorrow. Driving home. Yeah, he was assisting his mom with some doctor's appointments. And he's listening in, which is nice. Nice that you are joining us. So he'll have a card to share with you all tomorrow, which will be awesome because everything Sean does is always spectacular. So let's get these two stamped first. And I like how that looks with them like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some black ink. I'm going to move that so I can push this up a little bit more so you can see. There we go. I'm going to put that just right at the top there to hold them down. Get them stamped. Sean, I hope everything went well for you and Mom today. That's for sure. And now that I have that one done, I am going to stamp them on just a little piece. I'm going to move that magnet. On a little piece, I think they should fit on here. If not, I'll grab another piece. But yes, they will. And for my mask, you know, I don't need much. So I'm just going to move that guy over there for a moment and pick her up. Get her stamped on there. And grab some squeaky clean to get that stamp clean. I think you're all by now familiar with Squeaky Clean, but if you're not, it's an all-purpose stamp cleaner put out by Brutus Monroe. It's there is unscented. There's also scented ones. This one happens to be the Cherry Slush. And honestly, I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, I just use water to wipe off my stamps. Yeah. I'll tell you, the Squeaky Clean really gets them clean. It's that good. So now I'm going to get this guy stamped, and I can see he's not going to fit completely, but that's okay. I can make it work. Because most of him is on there. And where his hands are, I can always just put a little piece of Post-it tape, and that will be fine. Okay, so I have them stamped. Let me go ahead and just get that stamp clean real quick, because I really don't like taking a dirty stamp off of my stamping platform, because then if I forget where I put it and I throw something on top of it, I might just get something important dirty. So I'm going to just do a quick fussy cut on these two masks, and it's not going to take too long because they're not terribly difficult images. They go pretty quick, and it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And the reason why I say that is for those buildings, let's say I don't have this cut perfect and it misses a little bit of that building stamp. They're easy enough just to fill in with a black fine tip marker. So even if you miss a little detail, it's easy enough to just fill in. So that's my rhyme and reason for not worrying about it being particularly perfect. So I have to admit, I have been really happy because the Hallmark Channel has Christmas in July going. And when there's not one of the regular shows I watch or not something good on TV, and I want something in the background while I am crafting, I am putting on the Hallmark Channel and I am a happy camper because I love those cheesy Christmas movies. I really do. So that has been making me really happy to the point that I even had some Christmas movies on July 4th. Just because I was here, I was crafting, I was looking for some background noise, and it filled the spot. So I don't know how many of you already have these stamp sets. If you do, I'd love to know what you enjoy about them. And if you don't have them, love to know if you've seen them on the website, what aspects you really like. I think they're really cute figures and they color up really easily. Again, without there being like, there's some detail, but they're not terribly detailed, and so that just makes coloring them even that more easy. Oh, really, Annie? Oh, Much Below Fish. I actually think the Golden Girls may be on at night. I think the movies are getting over, if not at 10, at midnight. And so I do think that for this Christmas in July, the Golden Girls is still on, because that's a go-to for me if I can't sleep. I will turn on the Golden Girls, and unfortunately, I don't fall asleep, but at least I'm laughing. Golden Girls is one of my favorite shows ever. Yeah, Annie, it's funny. My both of my sisters and my niece also love the Hallmark movies, and so we're constantly saying we want to find a town that's like the town, like a one of the towns in the movies, and move there. Ah, nice. Yeah, I believe it's still on. I think that's what my niece told me. Luckily, I haven't had issues with falling asleep lately, so I haven't had to worry about them being on. I ran out of time getting ready for tonight, or I would have already had these masks cut out. I generally like to do that before the live, but I just completely lost track of time. Well, hello, Christy. How are you, my friend? Are you still at work, or are you on your way home from work, or maybe already home? Thanks for coming in to say hi. She's calling me the Funk Master because I go live with Christy and our friend Melissa, and usually a special guest on Sunday nights. And the past few Sundays, I had put under my name, I called myself the Funk Master. Don't ask me why. I was just being silly, and it seems to have stuck. So I'm the Funk Master. Now, this particular masking paper. I've been having problems with getting the back off lately, and I don't know why. So instead of wasting time doing that, I think I'm just going to take some low-tack tape and tape them down. That will be just fine. And that one I can't find, so I'm going to use my freebie from Brutus Monroe that I received, a tape holder that I keep some low-tack tape on, so it's constantly nearby. So those freebies definitely come in handy. I like this one. Just get this tape rolled up, get it stuck on the back of the first one. And since I'm not going to be ink blending over it, I don't have to worry. I just need to make sure that the main body is protected for the stamping. So true, Christy, and I'm actually really glad to hear that you are home because you have been working a lot, my friend. So it's good that you are giving yourself a break. Okay, now, as I had mentioned, I didn't get his hand and that snowball in my mask, so I'm just going to take a really small piece of the low tack and put it right over that. And that is going to be just fine. So now I'm going to grab my Misty again. And we're going to come in and decide where we want to put the buildings and what else we're going to put in there at this moment. Let's see. Grab these buildings. So Sean had to take his mom to some appointments today. So he's driving home. So he wasn't able to make the live, but he will be creating a card to share with everyone tomorrow for our Christmas in July festivities. Since that's in the background, I'm going to put it right like that so that it's kind of, you see that in the back of them. So let's get that stamped in. That looks good. And there's some other cool ones here. So I'm thinking, well, the light post might be tough because it's not the right size. I would need it to be a little bigger, I think. Well, is that true? If that's way in the background, that would actually be fine. I'm just thinking about like, the, what do you call it? The ratio in size. But yeah, if that's in the background, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm going to get my building stamp cleaned and off there. Yes, I believe he had that airplane safety evacuation drill yesterday, Christy. Today's Thursday, so yes, I believe he said it was Wednesday. And it's next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. I believe he posted about it again. There we go. So now we got a part of a light post back there too. I'm gonna wipe that off, and I'm gonna come in and do I have 3 unused kits? Yes. You bought Christmas kit. You were naughty. I bought add-on dice too. You know what, Jay? You know what I say about that? You only live once. Enjoy. And I don't have kids, So it's easier for me to say that because I'm like, I don't have to worry about having money for children. So I'm really going to enjoy. There we go. All right. I'm just going to leave those masks to the side. And we have them. And before I start to color, I want to get my snow glued down there. So I'm grabbing that cutout of the white glitter cardstock, and I think it which piece goes down first? I think it may be this piece that goes down first. It may not even matter, but that will fit there, and that will fit there. Yes, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, I hear you. I do have dogs, and you're right. They are like children. And my glue is dry. I need to unclog my spout on my thing here. So you're right. I do have to worry about the dogs. But the good news is they're not going to college. So, April, just as I say that, you type that in the chat. That absolutely cracks me up. Great minds think alike. You knew the crystal ball for me. You knew what I was trying to say. And you know that I'm not going to send my dogs to college. So nicely done. That is hysterical. Okay, so there is that one added down there. Now we'll do this piece. And this one is going to go this way. So I'm going to line it up on that side and bring that down. And that looks really good. Awesome. And I think you will remember when I said that the mask didn't have to be perfect and that with these buildings, it's really easy to fix if there's a part that didn't stamp. And I am really happy to show you. I'm actually going to zoom in for a second here because there is a part that didn't stamp right over here. And so I'm going to come in with a black fine marker and just draw that line down, complete that window, complete that one, move that over, just put that going up. And we are all set. So that is good. I'm going to zoom back out. Okay, so now I can go ahead and do some coloring. Just going to grab some markers here to use. Bring them closer. Let's see. I think for her, she is going to be wearing a purple jacket and a darker purple hat. And let's see. I think I want him in green. So we're going to give him a green hat and we're going to give him some dungarees. So I'm going to grab a nice darker blue for his pants. And for his sweater, hey, if we're going to give him a green hat, let's give him a red sweater. So he'll really look Christmas. For my buildings, I'm just going to grab a couple of warm gray markers, a lighter one and one that's a little bit darker. I'm going to grab a light yellow for some lights in the windows in the buildings, and I'm going to grab a darker cool gray for the other ones in the buildings. And then I'm going to grab a darker cool gray for my light post. And I can also use some yellow there too. Oh, and I am actually going to color my sky with an alcohol marker too, just because I love the way that looks. Okay, so I'm going to get to coloring here. Actually, I will zoom in slightly just to make it easier for you to see. There we go. And her hat's a really nice dark purple. I'm not going to worry too much about shading. I am just going to do a straight color job simply because if I really worry about coloring and shading, it might take way too long. So I'm going to give her a lighter purple pom-pom, but then her gloves are going to be that darker purple. There we go. And I'm going to give her some jeans on as well. So we'll put a nice dark blue for her pants. And let's see. You know what? I think they're both going to have brown boots on. So I'm going to grab a brown. That's nice and dark. Make them look like some leather snow boots. Some Uggs. Nice and fashionable, you know. And I will come back to get her face. And now I see that I forgot the arm of her jacket. So let's get that colored. Oh, Doug. Christy wants ice cream. Be nice to Christy. Okay, now for him, let's work from the bottom up. We're going to get his boots. Get over there. And his jeans. Yeah, so if this was a design team card that I was working on and not a live, that's only an hour, I would be doing a little bit more with shading and stuff on my characters, but I don't want to keep you hostage too long tonight, so do his red sweater. There we go. And a nice green for his mittens. Scarf. And his hat. They look happy. Now for the buildings, let's do that first. Mentioned I'm going to do just a combination of some various warm grays just to see that in the background. And of course, if you're making your own card, you could make these buildings whatever color you'd like. But I'll tell you, if you're looking for just a quick Christmas card, these color really quickly and they're so much fun. And for this building, since I'm going to do that roof in the darker. I agree, Cordelia. He should. He should. Actually, I'm going to switch over to my fine tip because this one, the windows are a little smaller. And it will just be easier and go faster than the brush. I'm excited to see what's in store for Christmas designs for this year. I'm ready for them. And then on this last building, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do that lighter on top and then come in with the darker, just so that they alternate. Makes it a little bit more interesting when you're coloring them all like gray, you know. But gray is a good color because it is pretty realistic for buildings. So Christy says, I can't see. I'm sorry, was that down too low? I apologize. Now I'm going to come in with a yellow just to add a few lights on every now and then. You never know who's home and who's still at work. I bet you in this little building with the lights on, that would be Christy still there working. Because she's been burning the midnight oil lately. No, slow down. You want me to slow down on my coloring? And these little windows are so easy because you can use your fine tip and just touch them and they fill right in. It's perfect. That's really, really easy. Ah, that's a good point, April. I hadn't considered that. Yeah, so you're right. That does. I'm glad I did include it. Yeah, the perspective would be off. Yep. And also, what's cool is so just gonna do that, but then I'm gonna come in and put the yellow there. And once I do my color my sky, I'm going to make some light coming from that area. So, and for my sky, I chose just a very light pale blue. And I'm just going to start by filling in down here. Now I could have colored the sky before I put that snow on, but you know what? There wouldn't be a challenge in that. And I like a challenge. So I want to be able to go around that snowy border and be able to show it who's boss. And say, ha, I didn't get anything on you. And I have to remember to come back and color in their faces. Very important. It's those small details. I don't know if Candy's still here, and I know she wouldn't be able to say anything, but I wonder if Candy has seen any Christmas designs for this year yet. And no, I'm not asking you to spill any beans. I wouldn't want you to get in trouble. Oh, Jay, I don't even have to be down the Cape to dance on to go around poles. I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, heck, I'll tell the story. A week ago Sunday, some friends and I went to a disco drag brunch, and I was called up on stage to participate in a best dressed contest because the drag queen hosting the event liked the shirt I had on. And when I was like, do I have to go? She said, yes, you have to do whatever I tell you. So I was like, okay. So up on the stage I went, and I had to introduce myself with some other people. And then once we introduced ourselves, we all had to go march around the room. And she wanted us to be sassy in doing it. And so my version of being sassy was when I went by a post in the room, I swung around it twice. And gee, I'll tell you, I got a lot of cheers for doing that. So that was fun. I'm now going to use some of the frosty finish to fill in just a little bit more snow. And if you're not familiar with the frosty finish, it's almost like almost like a grit paste. If you're familiar with grit paste. So it has some nice texture to it. And I just want a little bit to finish off where there's a little gap with that snow and where I stamped them. And that's only because it would bother me if I didn't do this. So oh, did we have someone else join? Let's see. Susan Thompson. Hello, Susan. Yes, 7 to 8 Eastern is our usual time. Yep. Yep, it sure is. And my usual sidekick, Sean, was not able to be here tonight, which is why I am doing this myself. There we go. And now that's going to have that filled in, and I'm going to feel better about that. Now, before I forget, I want to grab a color to add to their faces. And let's see. Nope, that one will not work. I need to come to a different marker set. Please bear with me. I will be right there. There we go. That will work. Grab this and let's just fill that in. Beautiful. Awesome. Put that away so I don't mess it up. And And then, since they have snowballs in their hands, no, you know what? I'm not going to use that. I am going to grab a white gel pen and just come in to add a little bit of white onto those snowballs. There we go. And can also just add a little bit of white onto the tops of the buildings. That looks nice and fun. Can also just add a little bit going around the base of that lamppost. Make it look like there's a little bit of snow there. Perfect. All right. So I am going to hit this with a little bit of heat to dry that frosty finish so that I'll be able to put my my acetate down on top of it. So I'm just going to mute so you don't have to listen to that, but I will be right back. All right. Susan, what is the sale price on Christmas in July? Actually, I have it open, so I can tell you, Susan. Um, there's a selection of items on the website. If you purchase 3 of the items, you receive 15% off. If you purchase 5, you receive 25% off. And if you purchase 8, you receive 35% off. So that is the Christmas in July sale this year. Before going any further, I am going to grab a white acrylic marker, and I'm going to come in and just dab in. Instead of stamping snowflakes, I'm just going to dab in some little white marks for snowflakes. There we go. I'm just going to set that to the side for a moment. And now what I want to do is grab my base that I had already die cut. And I want to put my sentiment onto the base. And so the sentiment that I would like to use is this one, "The city shines brighter with you in it," which I just think is really, really nice. And lucky for me, it will fit right down there at the bottom of the base. Perfect. So I'm just going to grab my Misty, bring this up, put a magnet to hold it in place, get that aligned. There we go. Just going to do it one more time to make sure it's nice and dark. And now we have our sentiment as well. Like that. Take that off. And I can do some assembling of our snow globe. And for that, I'm going to use glue, and I'm going to start with getting the background onto the base. So we're going to take our base and put some glue right up here where it's going to rest. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan. Yeah, I was a little bit, you know what, because I zoomed in for coloring. Let me zoom back out. I apologize. Thanks for letting me know. As I get down towards the, I'm sorry. As I get down towards the end of my of finishing up my card, I need to pay attention and look up at the camera and see. So I'm glad you let me know. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along that edge of my acetate. Now you could turn this into a shaker if you would like. I did shakers last year, but I wasn't necessarily feeling like a shaker tonight. So, hey, Isis, how are you? So I'm just going to put this on. Plus, with the glitter from the glitter cardstock, I'm not too worried about it. Like I it almost looks like there's some snow for a snow globe resting down the bottom there. So just going to lay that on and give it a good press so that I know it's going to stick right down. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Isis. Oh, that is a late night. Jeez, you and Christy lately have been burning the midnight oil. My goodness. You need a break. There we go. Okay. So now I am going to end up using some double-sided foam tape to prop it up onto my actual card. So I'm just going to get so what I'm doing is I have my white card base. I cut out a blue piece of cardstock that is at this was at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, I believe. And then this piece here was cut down to 4 inches by 5.25. And I just wanted a little bit of that blue going around, kind of acting as like a mat. So get some tape on here. There we go. I hear you, Cordelia. I'm pretty darn lucky too that my employer is very big on work-life balance, which is important to me. So that makes me pretty happy. Unfortunately, there are times of the year like year end, which is begun, that our fiscal year end, that I do have to do maybe sometimes some things on the weekends, but it's minimal. So now I'm going to center this panel onto there. There we go. Grab my double-sided foam strips for this. And a little piece at the top. There we go. Make sure that's pressed down. Get that backing off. Come on. Sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm just going to put that right down there. And here we go. Our finished card for this evening. I'm going to zoom in for you. There we have it. Our snow globe card featuring a cute little couple having a snowball fight in the city, followed with a sentiment of the city shines brighter with you in it. And then once again for that background panel, I had just used a baby wipe and some of the Simon Hurley Midnight Snack ink and went ahead and just dabbed that in. And then once that was done, I grabbed my alabaster white ink pad and just went up and down the panel to kind of soften that blue so it wasn't so dark. Thanks all. Really fun. And makes me happy because I just love Christmas and Christmas crafting. Of course, I could add some embellishments on some of our little crystals. I may do that afterwards, but just a really fun, quick, an easy card that you can make in an hour. So thanks, friends. I appreciate your kind words. I'm going to come up to my top camera. And for those who didn't see me at the beginning, I have my elf hat on with my jingle bells too. Just to celebrate our Christmas in July. So thank you all so much for keeping me company tonight. Thanks, Kara. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Cordelia. Yeah, it really does. Nice and simple. So, I appreciate you keeping me company, especially with my Mr. Keebler. That's funny. With our friend Sean missing tonight. So thanks for hanging out. Sean will be back with me next week, and we'll be using the new products for the month of July. Hope you have a great week, great evening, a good Friday, and an awesome weekend. Take care, friends.